Are you secretly sabotaging your Google rankings by scaling content production? A new study by Kevin Indig has uncovered a startling trend. There's often an inverse correlation between an increase in index pages and organic traffic growth since 2023. But does that mean that publishing lots of content to achieve topical authority is now counterproductive? And how can you leverage this insight to boost your own traffic? We'll find out in this episode. We've also analyzed the continued fallout from Google's August core update, and the data tells a pretty fascinating story. Some unlikely winners are emerging, while some former titans are actually tumbling down the rankings pretty significantly. Plus, a new change to Google's AI overviews finally gives you a clear path to ranking in them. Hi, I'm Mark Webster, co-founder of Authority Hacker and strategic advisor over at Marketing Pros. Today's video is brought to you by Search Intelligence. More on them a little bit later. Let's start by unpacking some eye-opening research that's challenging the long-held belief that more content equals more traffic. Nobody likes clutter, but it turns out that Google may be more sensitive to content clutter than most SEOs had previously thought. A new study by SEO expert Kevin Indig explores recent changes in Google's approach to indexing and ranking web pages. Using data from a number of larger websites, he uncovered the extent to which Google prioritizes fewer high-quality pieces of content over sheer volume of content. He found a direct inverse relationship between the number of index pages and organic traffic since the October 2023 core update. The more indexed pages a site had, the more likely it was to have lost traffic. We'll dive into some real examples of these sites in just a moment. But first, consider how this challenges the popular concept of topical authority, or at least a version of it that involves rapidly making thousands of pages about every single topic in your niche. At first look, it seems that Google's minimum content indexing quality bar has drastically increased in recent months, which is probably how they approach fighting what they call scaled content in real life, a term that they've recently come up with in their webmaster spam policies that includes the somewhat ambiguous infraction of using AI tools to generate content without adding value to users. This change could also partially explain the wave of low-quality sites getting de-indexed during the March 2024 core update. Google would have put some of these sites in the lowest quality tier and deemed them too low quality to be part of its index. Indig also expands on why this might be happening, highlighting two trends that have impacted how Google approaches indexing. First, while the open web has shrunk, Google must crawl through massive content platforms like YouTube, Reddit, and TikTok. These sites often use complex JavaScript frameworks, making it expensive for Google to find new content. And at the same time, the ability to get instant answers from AI chatbots is changing the underlying dynamics of the web by making mediocre and poor quality content somewhat redundant. And there's probably a third reason here, and that's training Gemini, Google's frontier AI model. AI needs quality data to get better, so by killing the incentive to pollute the web with lower quality content, Google makes you generate better data to train its own model with. Now, let's take a look at some real-world examples that Indig provides in his newsletter. But first, here's a quick word from today's video sponsor, Search Intelligence. They're a digital PR agency who recently capitalized on Coldplay frontman Chris Martin's admission that he only eats one meal per day. They contacted journalists to provide expert commentary from their client, Bulk.com. Now, their data-driven approach looked at trends on both Google and TikTok, find insights that fitness and nutrition experts were sure to love. And sure enough, they landed 40 links from super high quality websites, including Healthline and Huffington Post. So if you're looking for a digital PR campaign to supercharge your link building, head on over to search-intelligence.co.uk. Now, let's get back to some shocking examples from Indig's research. In one case, an undisclosed domain had a bug that broke pagination and caused it to index many duplicate archive pages. The number of index pages shot up from around 6,000 to about 13,000. Immediately after this massive influx of low-quality pages, the domain's organic traffic dropped around 30%. Another example is ClickUp, the popular project management software. They got a bit excited and decided to attempt a programmatic SEO play to juice up their organic traffic. Their index pages went up from around 17,000 to 37,000. And almost immediately, organic traffic went from an estimated 1.6 million down to around 800,000. That's a 50% drop. Ouch. And if you want better odds at avoiding a similarly painful traffic drop, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. We share the most important news in SEO and search marketing every single week, helping you stay on top of Google's latest changes. When these surges of low-quality pages happen, Indig found that the main symptom is a severe decrease in top 3 rankings. He shared examples of sites losing 36 to 45% of their organic keywords when the surge of low-quality pages occurred. But Indig also found examples of sites that managed to increase their organic traffic by monitoring and removing or improving lower quality pages. Sites like progressive.com that went from just over 30,000 index pages down to just 2,000. Their organic traffic shot up from around 2.9 million monthly visitors to 6.2 million today, according to Ahrefs. They also moved a lot of the removed content to a separate domain, progressiveagent.com, which now sits at a healthy 80,000 traffic as well. Indig says the stakes for SEOs are high. Expand too aggressively and your whole domain might suffer. The idea of infinitely scaling your site for all the keywords that you can think of with little care for how well each page is put together seems to be a thing of the past. The tricky part is that Google doesn't always punish these sites right away. Quite often you'll see them surge before they drop heavily. It's like a sugar rush followed by a crash. We're seeing this play out in the August 2024 core update, and we have some new discoveries from that which we'll share later in this video as well. But these observations by Indig also reflect some of the findings we highlighted in our recent Google Leaks analysis video. We found that Google has a metric called page quality, or PQ, which uses a large language model, LLM, to estimate the effort behind a page. This helps Google determine if a page can be easily replicated. This makes SEO much more complicated than simple on-page rules and links. If an LLM applies advanced reasoning to judge a page's quality and how well it should rank, we need to step up our game. As Indig puts it, we need to change our mindset about quality and develop monitoring systems that help us understand domain quality on a page level. He stressed the importance of a domain quality monitoring system to track metrics for each page, including inverse bounce rate, conversions, clicks, and ranks by page type. It's also crucial to identify and address technical issues like duplicate content and broken pagination, as we saw in the examples. So if you're still running SEO like it's 2016, let this be a story warning that mass publishing low quality content is very likely to make you dig your own organic rankings grave. One quote from Indig's newsletter really made us think. If you can't add anything new or better to the web, it's likely not good enough. This should be the new mantra for content creators and SEOs alike. Meanwhile, Google's August 2024 core update is still rolling out, and industry experts are keeping a close eye on who's winning and why. Zippy SEO founder Cyrus Shepard has been tracking the effects of this update on a database of sites, and the results are, well, mixed at best. According to Shepard, many sites that were hit a year ago in September's Helpful Content Update, HCU, or last March's core update, aren't showing much improvement. Of the sites he monitors, only about 20% of those that saw significant declines in Google traffic over the past year are now seeing at least some recovery. While on the flip side, around 20% of sites that saw significant gains over the past 12 months are now facing declines. It's like Google's playing musical chairs with your rankings, and not everybody gets a seat when the music stops. Shepard's findings reveal some interesting trends. In travel niches, for instance, Google seems to be favoring geographic specificity over general travel blogs. First-person accounts and hands-on experience are also getting a boost, with original information, photos, and analysis being rewarded as well. Echoing a statement we've heard before, Shepard notes in relation to Google's statement to stop doing things for SEO that he believes this is sound advice. He goes on to say that he thinks SEO has a long life for promoting businesses, but if I were to start a site today, I'd focus on publishing content that's unique to a degree that other people, or AI, couldn't replicate. So while it seems that SEO is not dead, the days of some of the old tricks may be numbered. Lily Ray, VP of SEO AMSIV, has observed that LinkedIn and India Time, which inexplicably ranked for numerous queries in the USA before the update, are now experiencing a decline with this core update. But the real insight comes from her observation about Google's direction. She asks who can drive the most with the least, suggesting that fewer pages, less content on the page, and less obsession over what the algorithm seems to want is the way forward. This echoes Kevin Indig's observations from a previous story, reinforcing this idea that the main rule of SEO today is that there are no rules anymore. Barry Schwartz has noticed a positive change for many sites: the return of previously missing thumbnails in search snippets. This issue was likely related to how Google calculated site quality. Sites that didn't meet whatever the quality threshold was were unable to show images in rich results in the search results. Now it seems quality metrics were adjusted for some sites to meet those thresholds. Finally, Ian H. from Niche Site Growth hits us with some cold reality. In his analysis of HCU to August core update traffic changes for 2,398 sites, he didn't find any true HCU recoveries. Of course, it's important to remember that true recoveries will likely take longer than a few weeks, but it still seems that the road to recovery from the HCU is still a long and winding one, even if you're winning with the current update. It also looks like this core update shook things up with AI overviews. A recent analysis of 36,000 keywords by SEO Clarity found AI overview sources now match one of the top web pages from the top 10 organic search results 99.5% of the time. That is a significant shift, as Google has previously routinely shown sources outside of the top 10 results in the earlier days of AI overviews. Remember, this more diverse approach to sourcing backfired spectacularly when Google was called out for giving dangerous and wrong answers, like the fact that eating spaghetti with gasoline was a good idea. The backlash was so severe that Google had to massively reduce the visibility of AI overviews to just 7% of queries recently, while promising improvements. In response to this debacle, it appears that Google may now be incorporating more traditional search ranking signals as part of its custom AI overviews source picking. This drastic change brings us to an important realization. AI overviews are now being affected by core updates. Google's John Mueller confirmed this, stating that these are part of search and core updates affect search. This means we can expect shakeups in the results pulled into AI overviews whenever a core update happens from now on. It's like Google's applying its traditional quality measures to its cutting-edge AI features as well. Now, unfortunately, tracking metrics from AI overviews in Google Search Console continue to be a headache for SEOs. There have been calls for AI overview filtering options in Search Console similar to those for featured snippets, but currently there's no consistent method for tracking overview performance. This lack of transparency makes it hard for site owners to understand how their content is performing in these AI-generated results. Google's been busy lately rolling out a series of updates that affect not just rankings and AI overviews, but also the very layout of the search results pages. First up, Google started displaying a courses search carousel feature, as reported on X by SEO Charles Float. This is likely triggered by the course schema markup. If you're in the education business, it might be time to brush up on your schema. Favicons in search results are now significantly larger. This change reflects Google's increasing emphasis on brand visibility within the SERPs. As a result, your brand's favicon is likely to have a greater impact on click-through rate, CTR, which in turn can influence your rankings. Google also seems to have taken a page out of Elon Musk's playbook, as they're starting to roll out blue ticks next to some websites. It's hard to tell what triggers the blue tick at this point, but it's clear Google is placing more emphasis on site authority and verification. Google's also been improving the documentation on what kind of schema markup they support in search. They've updated their Search Console search appearances documentation to show a table format that explains the supported appearances with a short description, API value, and the bulk export field. It's also a good idea to look at what schema markup matches the content of your site, as these features often lead to higher CTR, which again can lead to higher rankings. Google's also updated its title link search developer documentation. They've added that Google Search may use your OG title meta tag title for your title link in Google search results. This is a bit of a curveball, as the best practice was to write a keyword optimized title tag to boost your SEO and a high engagement OG title to improve your CTR on social. However, the fact they don't show the title tag doesn't mean it doesn't count against your ranking. So you may be getting the best of both worlds with this change, only time will tell. Now, all of these changes lead us to our debate of the week. Do you think that Kevin Indig's research is correct and that sites with fewer pages are now at an advantage over scaled content? Or do you think that more content equals more traffic is the way to go? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're there, make sure you grab our free list of 50 high-paying affiliate programs you can use to earn over $100 per sale. We'll add a link to those in the comments and the description below. And finally, if you like this video, you'll definitely want to check out this video here as well.